So my first interaction with my partner Arya, he's from India, was we met at Starbucks in the business college for about an hour. We talked about the value himself and his family place on education and some of the similarities and differences in the education system he was brought up in his hometown in India compared to mine. So something that really stood out to me that we talked about was that in his school system he went through 10 years of schooling that was just basically like overall knowledge, which is like the same thing we do here, like in my hometown, like going like you go to elementary school, middle school, and then high school. But for him, he just goes to 10 straight years of developing more knowledge. But then the next 2 years he has to pick a specialty. He picked science, and for those next 2 years you have to take classes underneath that specialty. So he had to take a bunch of math classes like calculus, geometry, all these like trig stuff, and a bunch of science classes like chemistry, physics, and organic chemistry at the school that he went to in India. Um, Education and being successful in school is very important to himself and his family. Both his parents are engineers, and he's going down the same path. He wants to be a mechanical engineer. Um, so he's going through a bunch of the same kind of classes that he did on the previous 2 years back at home here at state his freshman year. Um, Education always comes first in their family, which is something me and him um, have in common, because my family and my success in my education is like kind of their top priority for myself and to make myself have a successful future. And so what I learned from this interaction about myself and like everything that like he talked about to me is that like we both like realize how much pressure we put on ourselves to be successful because we place so much value on being successful in our education, because like from our parents, like when we were in school back at home, it was just like a big deal to them. It was like, you have to do good in school, you need to get good grades, you need to go to a good college, and you need to be successful. And so I think we both realized like from that pressure that we got from our parents then really influenced like how we are now in college, because we both put so much pressure on ourselves to do well in school, and because that thing in our mind is like, if we do good in school, we're going to get a good job, we're going to get good money and be successful and be happy with ourselves. And so definitely learned that about myself and how much value I do place on my education, and how it's a really big deal to myself and my family on how I end up after college.